So thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the introduction. And I think it's a great panel. So we're going to have exciting 30, 40 minutes talking about, as I think sir already set the stage, omni-channel, nutri-channel, single channel. So we'll discuss what all of these means. But I think just to start and set the context, I believe, and I don't know, and of course we'll go through the panel getting your point of views, but I think omni-channel, I think as a term, now has been here for almost more than a decade. And I remember in my consulting days, we used to design omni-channel journeys, or, there used to be a lot of confusion between multi-channel and omni-channel, and it used to take a lot to explain people what does it mean. But I think banking really, I think, set the stage for what we called omni-channel in terms of, you start your mortgage application, online, go to the bank branch for clarifying, and then come back, finish it on the app or the call center. And I think what has happened is now is over the past few years, now this has become in a way standard. And as sir was saying, customer doesn't really think about the channel or omni-channel. He's just thinking about the brand. And he thinks that whenever I'm interacting with your brand, whether it's on a web or an app or a store, then actually, so whenever they interact with your brand, they actually should get the same experience. It should not be the case that whether you're on the app, you have a different experience, or you have to enter all your details again. I remember that used to be the case in telecom, many years, that you go to a DTH and they're like, oh, you have to do the KYC all over again, and then when you go for a broadband, it's all over again. So I think for customers, it has become more like a standard. But I feel personally there are still a lot of gaps and questions which are still unanswered. And I think we'll go through these questions and maybe trying to find and explore what are these. I believe first question is that really, have the organization got it right? Do they really understand the meaning of omni-channel versus multi-channel? Is it like, everybody wants to have app, web, WhatsApp, store, but do they talk to each other? We don't know. Is it like, if you have a strong, I believe, if you have a strong CMO, maybe then you will end up having focus on app more. But if you have a strong COO, then maybe you actually end up having a, focus on store more. Is there an ROI? Because I think people also, like say for example, I have seen a lot of CIOs talking about, at least the business side, saying, oh, well, you can do online ordering on the app. But the way I can cross-sell and upsell effectively on the store, I can't do on the app. So hence I don't want to use the app, and I actually want to do all the ordering in the store. So is there a real ROI which we see in the omni-channel? And of course, then we'll talk about all the challenges in terms of the data, the supply chain, the change management, all that is there. So I think for a true omni-channel retail experience, at least in India, I see only very few brands, Nykaa, Lenskart, I'm sure, and we will have to hear more your views on that. But I don't think personally that every brand has gotten it, and because everybody's, I think, still grappling with a lot of these challenges. So I think let's go through that, and I think let's go through some of these, and maybe I'll go around. I think so, Arun, why don't we start with you, given that Fab India, I think the construct of the brand sort of lends itself to that omni-channel, that you can look at certain garments or the sofa or the the home decor online, and you can make a choice. Wife wants something, the husband wants something, the kids want something. Rather than fighting in the store, you will actually fight at home. But then when you get to the store, you're actually already sorted and you complete the purchase and then move on. So how do you, what is your view around omnichannel, or how does Fab India views omnichannel in terms of ROI, concrete use cases? What's your view?
Okay, so am I audible?
No, you're not. You'll have to.
Now?
No.
Better now? Cool, thanks. So fundamentally, right question, I would say. What is the omnichannel view of the brand, right? We would have heard a lot of terms like single view of customer, right? That's the first thing which comes to the mind as far as omnichannel is concerned. But I would put one more aspect on top of that is, do we also have a single view of stock? So when I say a single view of stock, I would say that we have different kinds of stores. We have a store which is at 10,000 square feet. We have a store which is 1,000 square feet or a 2,000 square feet store. So what a 10,000 square feet store sells, a smaller store can't have all the options there and all the categories. So does the store CRE or a customer interacting in any of the channels have the ability to look at what Fab India offers, from any channel. Do we have that capability today? I would say yes, we're on the journey. Fab India has about 350 odd stores, but accessing Fab India from any of the stores through a tab, a customer can look at least 150 store stock. So I would say yes, we have achieved that for almost 50% of our stores.
Okay.
But as far as the offering is concerned, it's more than 100%. So that 150 stores fundamentally covers what the 350 stores carry. So for me, yes, at the moment I would say yes, Fab India offers a full single view of stock and a single view of customer at the back end for marketing purposes. So that's what I would call a Fab India objective or a Fab India experience for the term omnichannel.
So great. I think so. Just a couple of follow-up questions. First, how do you do the execution of it? Is it like like when I go to a Fab India store, somebody will come and take a tab saying, while you're looking at 3 bed sheets, by the way, there are 10 other bed sheets you want to look at.
Right.
And is there what business metrics are you impacting with this kind of investment in omnichannel?
So a couple of things. So I would rather put this into 2 aspects. Let's talk about a customer who comes to the site or the app, and let's talk about a customer who walks into the store and the experience that a store delivers.
Right.
So I'll talk about the first one, which is a customer coming into the app. So when a customer comes into the app, the customer sees everything from a large warehouse and 150 stores. So, you can maybe see 100 different red bed sheets.
Right.
Right. Similarly, if a customer walks into a store and the customer may walk into a smaller store which maybe carries just 5 or 6 options, but if the customer wants to go deeper on that, the CRE can actually open up the endless aisle and show the customer that we have got 20 more options with respect to sizes, multiple color combinations, patterns, and all of it. And the discovery is fairly easier on that journey. So on top of that, what we also do is, when a customer comes online and places an order, there are 2 ways our system works. One is what's available in the warehouse and what's available in the store. If it is available in the warehouse, it gets shipped from there. But if it is not available, then it actually gets shipped in the store directly to the customer.
Okay.
And 150 stores do that.
Interesting. And then, sorry, just I'm getting into specific, but do you end up charging? So, for example, if you don't have it at the store, do you actually end up charging a premium to the customer in terms of it's all baked in? And what is the business impact you're seeing? What is the metrics that you're getting impacted seeing?
So, if you look at the metrics, the store and the online channel which is there, the store easily sees an uptick of about 4 to 5% because of these engagements.
Interesting.
So they also at a level have a view. Now we are attempting to go to the next level. For example, if a customer says, I want to buy these 10 things and I want it right now. I want it in the next 2 hours. Can I actually show the customer that these stores have all of these? And if you want, we'll get it for you, say tomorrow. Right. But if you want it right away, we will actually get them to a single store.
Interesting. Great. Thank you very much. I think great insights. And then we'll summarize at the end. But I think interesting numbers in terms of the impact. And I think probably at your base, then I think the ROI definitely makes sense.
Exactly.
So coming to Hardik, now, it's a different category. Of course, we all go to social for good music and food and everything. So how does omnichannel play in your case? And as we said, like where do you see the use cases, the ROI and all that?
So we'll take a different look at omni-channel is or what it means for us. Sorry, am I audible now?
Yes, now it's fine.
Okay. For us, what would be very important is no matter who you are able to place an order. Now, it could be via the web or physically. For us, I would say when you go into the store, you can scan a QR code. And little backstory, back when COVID happened, right? Everybody started doing contactless menu or payment and all of those things. What typically most people did is they took a copy of the PDF, upload it on say Google Drive or OneDrive or one of those online things. You scan the QR code, it will open up that thing, right? but that still needed somebody to come and do some ordering. What we did is we actually created like a, with our partners .pay, what we did is we created almost like an e-commerce platform where you go ahead and you add all the items that you'd want to have in your cart and place an order. But what we are also doing as like a omni-channel thing to say that yes, you've placed an order, but I'm also giving an opportunity to the folks who are taking care of you in the restaurant to go and upsell you or recommend you things that you would like. Let's say if there's a new menu that we have, right? We had partnered very recently with Singapore Tourism Board, and there was a fantastic menu happening around it. They would go back and say, hey, here's a new menu. You would probably not see, you have it out there, but because you're regular, you're not having it or you've not looked at it. Why don't you try something on it? So it gave us two things. One, it gave us an opportunity for somebody to add anything to their cart and place an order.
Right.
Any food item to the cart and place an order, as well as an opportunity to folks who are sitting down, dining in, and somebody serving them, a way to either upsell things or to, if that person is regular, they know each other, what that guest would like to have more.
So that upsell is happening from the person in the store.
The person in store.
Okay.
While can we do it with technology? Absolutely, we can do it with technology.
Right.
But we want to give everybody an opportunity to do that thing. Tech will do its own thing, but because hospitality is a very people first thing, you would want to talk to somebody.
Right.
If you're coming for the first time, you'll say, what are the favorite dishes or what are the most recommended dishes at this place, and you would want to ask somebody else. So for me personally, I think that is how omni-channel as a definition in the hospitality industry stands for, online as well as offline. And hey, if you are very, very old school, we will hand over our iconic newspaper menus to you to read through it.
Interesting. So in terms of now, let me ask you this also, because at Starbucks also we have tried to do that, and I think my question to you is that, is this something you're doing as a hygiene, or is this something you're seeing actually like a value, ROI value driven out of it?
So both have its own opportunity to drive ROIs. Example, let's say you're ordering nachos, based on your past history, I know you like nachos with beer. The first thing I'll recommend you in the cart in using digital stuff is I'll recommend you a beer because historically you've had that.
Okay.
But I have a new beer which you've not had it before. I will also give somebody serving an option to say, why don't you, recommend this particular beer, get a test flight of all the beers and have them at least try it. So I think it works both ways, works very fantastic. Each drive its own ROI, which actually helps the company, get a better EBITDA.
Great. So I'll also add my point of view just in terms of, I think at Starbucks, we've also done QR code ordering in many stores, but I think, so 2 points I think on that. One, it is not like for every store. So because there are many stores where customers would like to just sit in and enjoy, and it's an occasion driven store. But there are many stores where customers are actually using it quite frequently. And and a lot of at least this feedback that we've got from store managers, at least some of the stores we've seen at least uplift of about 4 to 5 ADTs on those stores. And just even at airports, let's say, right? So airports is the one, malls sometimes you see. So so it has worked in, I would say, certain percentage of stores, but not everywhere.
What we have seen the change is for a lot of new Gen Z or maybe whoever is the newer gen, the legal drinking age folks, they're very happy to take out their phone, order via QR and move on with it. But if you are somebody who's a purist, you'll say, no, please give me a menu, and you'll have to hand over a menu. Then somebody will say, oh, I know what I want to order. Let's just call the server. I don't need to place the order. So I think it's a hygiene now. Instead of saying that, not one solution fits all. So this goes as hygiene. So you'll always find a QR code. You'll always find the newspaper menu, and you will always find somebody who can take your order.
Great. So thank you very much. So Akash, coming to you now, I think Pharmeasy, of course, I think would be pioneering omni-channel in this in terms of delivering medicines as well as online, offline. How are you seeing omni-channel in terms of and what are some of the plans going ahead? Are you seeing an ROI, or is there a view on ROI on this? So what is the plans on that?
Right now, I think very interesting. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah.
I think very interesting question in terms of. So we are actually a tech first, online first sort of a brand, right? I think that's how we came into existence in the first place. For us, actually, it's been the reverse journey as compared to, let's say, the rest of the panel here, right? And that's where we have been learning as to how we can go about changing the experience on a retail on an offline front. For us, it's more of customer experience, enhancing customer loyalty, and the price discovery sort of phase is what we are trying to create an omni-channel approach around, rather than just the ordering phase. So obviously, medicine comes with a lot of regulatory steps. So ordering is not what we are trying to, order at home and pick up from the store. That's not an experience we are trying to create. But we are trying to create an experience, and we have done a small pilot up in north of India where we have created certain stores, and you can walk into the store, you can buy on the spot, but you still get your cash backs onto your Pharmeasy wallet.
Okay.
The next order you can place online, and you will still have seen the wallet balance, the cash back that you receive from the store. So the post ordering experience and even the pre-ordering experience has been fairly sort of unified over there. And same way for us, honestly, what becomes more crucial is that the price discovery part, in terms of now medicine has actually become a deal seeking sort of category, right? Unlike earlier where, oh, if there's fulfillment, that's more than enough. I think now people are looking for the best deal. So people will even come to the store and open the app and say, oh, this is at a higher discount. So we have tried to maintain price parity there, that okay, if a X product is available in the pharmacy at a Y price, the same price is available online as well, right? And I think very rightly mentioned for the experiences that we have seen at Fab India, where it's a catalog enhancement. I think it's a very similar problem for us, not to upsell but to fulfill. Right? So if there are five medicines on your prescription, you want all the five. You can't go home with just 4. So what we say is that okay, we'll order 1 online and that will be home delivered. The rest you can take it right now. So I think that's the true sort of omni-channel experience we have created. I mean, that's very personally close to me, this particular experiment, because I just felt that why should a customer go home without all 5 medicines, right? So that's what we try to solve for.
So are we going to see Pharmeasy like shops soon?
Too early to say that,
Okay.
but I mean, yes, I mean, we are thinking towards the whole omni-channel space. While we would have earlier thought about it from a multi-channel perspective, that okay, let's also have retail stores. Now it's more about, okay, do we need an offline touch point?
Right.
Right. I think that's the question we are asking ourselves.
Okay. Okay. Well, exciting phase, because I'm a personal user of Pharmeasy, and as I told you offline, I think I wish you could deliver the medicine sooner.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but I think, okay, great. So, coming to Swandeep, now I think you coming from a service provider background. I think while of course we have heard from 3 panelists from very diverse categories and very interesting insights, how are you seeing with your clients and that you work with? In terms of their views on omni-channel, the business expectations or the C-level expectations on why should I invest in omni-channel and not? How are you seeing in with your clients?
Thank you, Vineet.
You'll have to put the mic closer. Sorry.
Yeah. Say as you told, it's for a decade. Say we were listening about the eCommerce, but to say it's omni-channel. Say from the 2020 onward, people become serious about the omni-channel. Now, what are the biggest challenges into this omni-channel? Where people have the silo databases. So they have a different database for their brick and mortar stores. And second, for e-commerce, they have different. And there's a different department for their marketplaces. There is a different database. And mobile are something different. When you have these kind of databases, there's a discrepancy. Say you don't have the unified inventory. So there's a lot of orders will bounce. Then if you have a silo databases, there's no unified customer. So it means you don't have a holistic picture about your customer. What is his purchase history? So if those things are not available, so how your marketing team will work? how you'll run your personalized promotions that can't run. Then, when you don't have your unified product information management, so then your images can be different on a different, if you have a different databases. Your descriptions are different. Say like if a customer is looking at an app, the description is different. Image is same, but description is different, and on your website app is something different. Even then there is a disconnect and the customer goes away. Your trust is broken from that brand. So simple, say like what actually omni-channel mein chahiye kya? Say you want a single database. Say whether it is your stores, offline stores, or your mobile app, or it's a marketplaces, everything is your single database. So if it is a marketplaces, it is integrated through any OMS. Your website is again integrated through your APIs or something else with the service provider. So which it stocks like on a single database. So moreover, then what we give the enterprise order management also. So where if you have say like any brand you talk about, you have a distribution network also. You have a retail also. You are selling through the e-commerce also. And that, say like, when you are into the B2B, whether you have your EBO stores or the distribution, then their rules and algorithms are something different where you are taking a decisions. Say like, then there's the approval comes. Okay, like first my sales manager will approve. Second, my finance manager will approve. But दूसरी side अगर आप देखते हो, जैसे ही like you receive an order from Amazon, from Flipkart, it immediately blocks the inventory. Moreover, when you have the stores, say like we work on the hyperlocal also. Say my head office is in Bombay or Bangalore, right? But the order is from Chandigarh. So I have my store in Chandigarh. It should be delivered from there. So uske liye then you have a hyperlocal delivery. So this is the case, one of my customer, Iconic. So Iconic implemented this one, the hyperlocal delivery. Their sale return rate came down from 35% to 20%. So ये use cases हैं, like if you are working on a single database, it will give you the immense ROI.
Interesting. So basically we are, I think if I were to summarize the discussion so far, I think we are all saying omni-channel has, it exists and it is for real. Retail organizations are doing it. There is definitely an ROI, like Arun said, and I think I also mentioned that there is definitely an uplift in the transactions that you can see with omni-channel. And of course, I think Charandeep, you've spoken about a lot of the challenges, but definitely the investment is worth it to be able to on this omni-channel. Now, I just want to, given the time also, we'll just talk about also the challenges. I think, what are some of the blockers, that organizations are facing, while of course we have spoken about single view of data and all that. But what are some of the other challenges, let's say change management, the internal leadership dynamics, or the mindset changes? So, I don't know, maybe Akash, I'll speak to you, because I think now you started as a completely digital native organization. Now, as you expand your horizons to more offline, because that would make sense, what are some of the challenges and how are you trying to overcome them?
Right, I think your question already had a bit of an answer to it, right? The whole change management piece is something that is certainly challenging. Given we are always an online first sort of a company, I think it was pretty much in our DNA of everybody to think from a perspective that what we can do online, how can the experience be made better, and so on and so forth. And here comes a completely new project which is retail driven. More than the acceptance of the idea that okay, there's something new, it was more about we had to change the mindset of the sort of pod that we formed in terms of business, tech team, finance team put together.
So can I just maybe just double click on the change management? So when you say change management, is it more at the leadership level? Is it more at the middle management team project level, or is it more at the ground level?
Right. So I think it's certainly the middle management and even the top management level. So of course, a vision becomes an idea and then becomes execution down from, let's say, a founder to a CEO level. But as soon as you talk about there is a VP of purchase, there's a VP of supply chain. For them, they have been putting in processes, everything to solve for the online order. Now they suddenly need to form a completely new process to solve for a physical store order. Same happens, and this happens, of course, more so in middle management, where product team or the tech team is working on a certain particular module which is more online focused. Now they have to completely change their DNA because understanding the consumer in offline world is very different. So I think that's where I would say it's more top and middle.
Okay.
I think that's where the main change comes in.
Any other challenges, like any other tech challenges? I think Swandeep has spoken about supply chain and databases. I know, you are inherently like a tech company, but
Right.
do you also face tech challenges, or is it just for us?
100%. I think that's a common thing that we all can bond on. I think tech is always a challenge, and it's true that we honestly started off as a multi-channel approach, then an omni-channel approach. We first started the stores. We put the SaaS in play. We had to get a SaaS from outside because our own SaaS was not ready. Started operating the stores, then changed the SaaS to our own SaaS, which was connected to our systems.
Right.
We still did not have a unified sort of customer experience where the mobile numbers would match. Then came that step. So I think it happened over 4 to 5 phases, and it happened over a good 1.5 years plus. So certainly, I think tech is always a challenge.
We are okay. We're better off then. Sorry to say. We're better off then.
For sure.
Okay. So now, I think, Arun, coming to you, I think for your category, the ROI is evident, and as you said also, and it kind of makes sense as a outside in looking at the example, at least when I gave in the beginning. But what kind of challenges you face? Because for you, the business case is so strong that there is no way out of not doing omnichannel, right? In today's world, when you have Amazon and Flipkarts and everything. Right. So, what are some of the challenges that you face, and how did you overcome them?
So, it's a classic case with Fab India being a 60-year-old retailer, right?
Yeah.
You've got, so when I say we work with 150 stores shipping directly to customers, and about 40 to 50% of our online orders actually get shipped from the stores to that extent. Now, to bring in that change of mindset where a store executive who's down on the ground, who has got very strong one-on-one customer relationships, at the store level, he knows customers by name, people who walk in, he greets them by name and he wishes them.
Right.
And for that person, online fundamentally is a competition. Saying this customer actually coming into the store, if I teach the customer that we have an online site, he may not come to the store and he will buy online.
Right.
So it was initially very difficult. We started this journey almost some 10 years back. And today, we have reached wherever we have reached. So the first store when we connected and when we were trying to ship the orders, it was an absolute disaster. Then, there was separate team sent, and then we educated. Then there was training given. Then I think training really helped in terms of passing on data points of how has the customer behavior changed. And we gave them the journey with what it was 20 years back when customers were not allowed to touch the garment to now where customers can just buy and walk in without even asking anybody. And so the customers, our customers, there's nothing called as an online and an offline customer.
Makes sense, yeah.
The customer comes, looks at the site first and says, okay, this is there in the store, I want to go and buy. So we built all these use cases. We did service in the store in front of them. We gave them data which said that, 35% of the customers actually come and the store sales is influenced digitally first. So when they looked at all that data, training, and on top of that, certain incentives were paid to the store teams for fulfilling the online orders, that really helped us. So initially the fulfillments were 70%, we are touching 95% now.
Wow. Hey, can I ask a specific question and let me know if you're okay to answer? I think one of the challenges, at least I've heard in this case, is that where you use the word that store guy was competing with online. How did you manage the incentivization? Because one of the challenges, at least also we face, that if the order is coming from online, then maybe the online guy is getting the
benefit.
And then the offline guy says my inventory is gone, my incentivization is gone. So how have you managed that?
So I think it's just trying to be, I would say, not penny wise in that sense. I think what's more important is, first of all, telling the store that the online business is a part of your business.
Okay.
Right? There were 3-4 things that we had planned initially when we saw this problem. We said, can online become a demand generation channel so that the tech works, the
Right.
marketing works,
Discovery,
right?
yeah.
While the store becomes the sales channel for you. So online is a discovery piece.
Exactly.
Fundamentally, what typical retailers make a mistake is they build a separate P&L for the online business, separate P&L for the
Absolutely,
offline
yeah.
business,
Right.
while the P&L should be there. But technically, there's a lot of inter-influence between offline to online and online to offline. So, where I'm coming from is, if you show data, enough data, I think the store guys buy it, number one. So what we did is, we said, if we can build an incentive program which also attaches the online sales to the offline sales. Like for example, let's talk about Bombay, BKC. We have a store in BKC.
Right.
If a customer is coming from BKC and placing an order online, can that actually go to the offline store? So initially we built that model failed. Then we actually went on to saying that, okay, if you're shipping from the store, it's a part of your target. So we started building our AOPs, saying that, with respect to past year's data, if we are looking at this kind of a growth, so with online and offline, what is the kind of sales this store will generate?
So it's a combined, and
It's a
I think
combined
good thing is that if the shipping is happening from that store, then the guy gets
Sales.
very, very interesting. I
And
think, yeah. So I
the
think
online
that's-
channel becomes a demand generating channel.
Exactly. And they will not resist them. Yeah, they will not. So great insights. Thank you, Arun. So Hardik, how about yourself? I know it's much simpler for you and me, but I think what are some, I've also faced a lot of change management challenges. I just would like to hear what are some of the things that you are facing while implementing this?
Oh, where do I begin? The first thing when you bring a tech product, people feel that they will lose their jobs. That's not true.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That is absolutely not true. It will only help them focus on building more strategies around it or selling a lot more. I think personally, as a challenge that I've seen facing is moving away from a client-server architecture to a online-only architecture. So the big change that has happened is back in the days when we used to have a different POS,
Right.
the managers would only get data, in the night or, the following day, because we would compile all the sales at say 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the night, and then send out something the next day. When we bought a POS, which was internet first, which was online first, they started to actually monitor how much of my sales is happening. What is my fastest selling item?
So just quickly clarifying, so you have now completely cloud-based POS?
Yes, we have completely cloud-based POS.
Interesting. Okay, that helps.
And so, to say somebody ki अभी आपको तभी का तभी देखना पड़ेगा, and you have to instruct your folks to push more something which is a slow-moving product. I think that was something which actually helped them, but changing it from a routine of so many years to say you will only get it the next day, that was a very different change for me. And with that change, what also happened is that what if a product went out of stock? What if we finished all the beers? What if we finished all the gins that a customer wanted? Then somebody had to manually go and switch it off, and hence that sale did not happen. So to drive all of that thing where you're pretty much used to a server coming, taking the order, but suddenly you now have somebody who's just placed like the last 10 bottles of beer already, and then the next customer is not able to place the order. I think that is where it was a challenge.
Okay.
But again, like you said, training is the best way to do it. To become their friend and say tech is your friend. It is not somebody to compete against you. It is going to help you put your engines somewhere else. I think that has happened, and that has actually helped us grow a lot. I'll just take 2 more minutes, and I'll also say that what we're also trying to do is, let's say, because it's a company where physical material is involved, sugar is involved, wheat is involved, all of those things here. One of the things that we want to really do with inventory is as soon as it hits a past stock, there should be an auto ordering going out to the suppliers. So it takes away the headache also from the store guys to say, अरे यार मेरे पास शक्कर कम हो गया, मेरे को कल शक्कर चाहिए, कैसे आएगा, पीओ किसी ने रेस नहीं किया, उसके पास
it's all auto ordering.
So now with help of cloud or a cloud POS, it allows me to make sure that I'm never out of stock. If it is going below a threshold, it automatically places an order, and that entire supply chain thing starts moving. That is what we have. I mean, it was very difficult to tell the store guys,
I know,
automatic order हो जाएगा, और ये मेरे को पता नहीं चलेगा.
Yeah, and then they want to do all the cross-sell, upsell based on what they think that they know the clients. I know I also relate to what you're saying. I know we are on time, almost on time. So Sandeep, final thoughts in terms of, I know we spoke about challenges, but I think one of the common themes that have come up in the last 5-7 minutes is the change management. So have you heard this or are you seeing this with your clients, and how then your organizations can help them overcome these change management challenges?
इसमें मैंने ना दो चीज़ें नोट की हैं सर, दो डिफरेंट सिनेरियोज बनते हैं.
Right.
If any company is D2C first, तो उसमें चेंज मैनेजमेंट का कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आता.
Okay.
Right?
So you're
Because
saying
they
there
are
is no
taking
challenge in
effort.
the D2C companies?
And if any company, say suppose they are running this company for the last 25 years or whatever it is, so they have a distribution department different, retail department different, they are not collaborating. So cross collaboration के लिए first you need a single database. It should be cloud based. That's say like why in our solution, say like if I take it, say like why it is easy, because we do it the manufacturing also, distribution also, retail also, then everything is linked at the AP with the API stacks. So that becomes the easy and people understand it, because when you do it, all the planning, say every department is linked with everybody, so change management easy ho jata. But it is not that easy as into the D2C, the first D2C enabled brands.
Okay.
So, but again, people are optimistic about it. कि ओमनी चैनल है तो ये तो अब रहेगा ही रहेगा, बट वो पहले एक कंसेप्ट होता था ये नहीं चलेगा, वो चीज निकल रही है.
Okay, very good. Great. I think so. Thank you very much. I think I'll skip a couple of my questions now, given that I think we are over 2 minutes. But I hope I think the audience has been able to get something out of this whole discussion. I think Omnichannel, as we all know, I'll just quickly summarize a couple of points. So Omnichannel, as we said, it's here to stay. Most retailers are going towards it, whether it's QR code ordering or whether it's opening stores from a digital native to now more of having both physical and online presence. And while from a Fab India standpoint, there's a lot of real benefits which everybody is seeing. And of course, challenges, I think two main themes. The data seems to be, as Swarndeep mentioned, having a unified view of inventory, as I think Arun, you also mentioned. I think having a single view of customer and the inventory seems to be a key sort of a blocker or a key sort of a prerequisite for omnichannel. And of course, change management, mindset change, both at the middle management and the leadership level. And I think I would actually also ask at the frontline staff also. I think, as we were speaking about auto ordering, I think I faced a lot of challenges in terms of with the store guy saying, no, you have to order chocolate cake because it sells more than the Corso. So, auto ordering, they will like, they wouldn't have heard this kind of a concept. So I think definitely, I think a lot of these challenges, but I think definitely there's an ROI, and I think organizations can, do the right investment in the technology, the tools, and of course the change management to be able to create value for their customers. So thank you very much, esteemed panel. I think it's a great discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.